After the break, we're going to interview Eric Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. He's blind. So we'll hear about that.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
I said, listen, you know what the best time to go out and look for a new girlfriend, look for a new hookup is? Right after you get dumped.
Yeah.
That's the best time. Women smell the desperation on you. It's almost like they're looking for a puppy dog to take in. You know what I'm saying? You're at your most vulnerable. Go out there, have a few tears in your beer, and someone's going to approach you and say, hey, bro, what's wrong with you? You could say, my 90-year-old girlfriend just broke up with me.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
2:30 in the morning! Listen here, cats and kittens. It's another episode of The Commercial Break. See? Best to you, Krissy.
Best to you, Brian.
Best to you out there in the podcast universe. How the hell are ya? Krissy.
Brian.
How do you feel? It's been a long time since you've had an ex.
Yes.
But how do you feel when you inevitably come across an Instagram or social media, TikTok, whatever, of your exes, and they're just doing swimmingly? Like they're rolling high.
I say good for them. Best to you.
I say play it again, Sally, before I give you a knuckle sandwich. I say best to you. You don't feel any amorous toward them, or you don't feel any animosity toward them?
No.
Never have.
Nope.
Kind of girl shuts the door, love them and leave them.
When I'm done, I'm done. Love them and leave them.
She's a fast girl with a cold heart. Gotta watch out for this one.
When I'm done, I'm done.
Close the door.
And good for them.
Fuck them.
I mean, it depends on how fresh it is, right? You know,
You're out.
Like
it does depend on how fresh it is.
The next day after you break up and there was someone, then that's not good. But
it can certainly stir emotions. We've all been there. You get in a relationship, you get a little tangled up emotionally, which I try not to do as a psychopath. I try not to do that too much. You get tangled up all emotionally with somebody, and then you see them, inevitably they're doing well because that's what they post on social media, because they're going to make you angry.
Only
they know
the best.
You're,
only the best.
Only the best.
For
That's
social
right.
media.
You get on that social media, and all of a sudden your ex-girlfriend's dating fucking, Pete Davidson, whizzing around the world in a private jet, and you're like, fuck, man. Guess I'll drink another Bud Light.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pay my rent tomorrow. I'll pay my rent on the 17th this month. Fine. There's a couple things make me ask this question.
Okay.
The breakup of Marlon and his older lady friend, and some updated information that I got. For those of you new to the Commercial Break, Marlon is not his real name. But he's
from Florida.
He's from Florida.
And Brian named him Marlon, like the fish.
Yes, I did, because, originality counts. Hey, look there. See, it's a Marlon. He's walking on land. He's dating old ladies. 2023 is crazy. For those of you that don't know, new to the show, Marlon is a friend of mine. Been a long-time friend of mine. He was single, and he was out on the dating scene, and he was just having the shittiest fucking luck dating anybody. He had one girl. He had many people ghost him, but he had one girl that actually met him for a first date with her family her whole family and her friends. I think it was like mom, couple sisters, and then a friend. So uncomfortably, he just kind of moved through the date.
And then they left. They skipped
That's what happened, yeah. So he kind of moved through the date uncomfortably, and they each got up to go to the bathroom, like the girls do.
And
we're
left.
going to go powder our noses. We'll be right back. And they left. They never came back. The restaurant manager felt so bad for him, he took off the appetizers.
That was sweet.
Marlon ended up paying like $400 for a meal. He never heard from this person again, which he was just having all kind of trouble. So he, almost on a lark, he decided he was going to join something called, what was it called? Sugar Mama?
Sugar Mamas.
Sugar Mamas.
Some sugar babies.
Yeah, sugar babies.
For girls. And then,
some kind of website.
Sugar Mamas, and this is where.
Sugar Mamas. And so he joins this website, and then he starts getting text messages or instant messages from this lady, a much older lady. And right from the get, she's like super, I don't say pushy, assertive is probably the best word.
She knows what she wants.
She knows exactly what she wants. And if you don't have it, she'll give it to you so you can give it to her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
She sent the Porsche.
She sent a Porsche to his house so that he could pick her up in the appropriate style she was accustomed to. She literally sent a guy in a Porsche, dropped the Porsche off, had him sign some paperwork, and then he took the Porsche for the day. Picked her up. Anyway, this whole thing ended up in a long string of...
Well, so they had their first date, and then that's when the woman said, hey, if we continue and keep going until the 10th, was it the 10th?
She said, this is our first date. If you make it to the 10th date, because not many of the guys that I meet on this site do, if you make it to the 10th date, I'm taking that 10th date is going to be
Europe.
In Italy, in Venice.
Italy,
She's going to take him to Venice on an all expenses paid, holy shit vacation. And that happened. Maybe not on the 10th date. I think it was more like the 15th, but it happened. They went to a swingers resort down in Jamaica. They did a lot of crazy stuff. And the whole get here was that this woman was about 35 years his senior, 30 years his senior.
And you would say he was what, in his 40s?
Late 30s. Late 30s.
Yep.
And so she was in her late 60s, I think if I'm getting the numbers right. Mm-hmm. We actually
Probably not,
because that's just how it goes here at the commercial break. Fact, news, or fiction, guaranteed 5 seconds or less. I don't even think we made it 5 seconds on this one. He had a couple of issues with the relationship, as did she, just to be fair. But he had a couple of issues with the relationship, and one was that she was 60, in her late 60s, so it wasn't the kind of physical form he was used to dating, but he got over that, kind of. The second one was that she was so assertive that this traveled into the bedroom, and she would demand that he do things in the bedroom for like extended periods of time. And
a certain way.
So she would say, go down on me, but you go down on me and you lick to the left and then you lick to the right and then you swirl 2 times, then you go back to the left. She was giving him directions like the entire time that they were making babies.
Hey, it sounds... Tell him what you want.
Did we ever knock it? We never once knocked
that.
it. Yeah.
We never knocked that part.
We never knocked that part. We knocked everything else. We never knocked that part. If that's what you want in bed, say it. Say it loud and proud.
Communicate.
Yeah. He felt very emasculated by this whole thing. He was a younger guy. He didn't do too bad with the ladies until they started ghosting him at the actual restaurant table. He's a relatively handsome guy, and he's in this relationship, and there's an obvious quid pro quo going on here, at first at least. But I actually think they caught some feelings for each other. Caught feelings for each other. Mm-hmm. And about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he lets me know that they broke up because they're on month number 9. And Krissy and I assumed it's like, kind of like the 7-year itch.
Well, it's like the 6-month mark is almost, to where if you are going to make it, you're going to give it a go. After 6 months, you might.
That's right.
9 months, then also too, if you're not really living together or seeing each other on a super, like every night, Yeah.
I never understood those people who get to the year mark and they're still like they're still like casually seeing each other once or twice a week.
No.
My twin brother is like that, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How do you do that? For me, it's like in for a penny, in for a pound, right? If I'm with you, I'm with you. Yeah, you love bombing people. Do you love bomb people?
No, I don't love bomb people, but I've been loved bombed.
Do you love to love bomb people? Do you love being love bombed?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Except when
because the restraining order's coming eventually, so why not have fun with it now?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Like, you get to the 6-month, 9-month mark, and things are either turning serious or people are kind of like, all right, we gave that a try. It didn't work out. I also think that's usually when the first fart comes around or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the first...
Or it's not all... beautifulness and sexiness. Your best foot
not
forward.
Not all rainbow and roses.
Not your best foot forward, maybe. All the time.
You get a little of that, you get some Bryan ass in the mix. You know what I'm saying? You get ball air.
Yeah,
you swoosh some ball air that way.
You can bottle that.
I've been bottling it for years. No one's buying it from me. Just a taste. I need just a taste. So I totally get where he's coming from. Reality starts to set in. It's not all trips to Jamaica and flying on private planes. It's the reality of living also, or being around a much older person that you're romantically involved with for a long period of time. I got some
walkers.
I got some
hospital beds.
Hey, listen, those walkers are good for fucking. Check out some granny porn when you get a chance. Hey there, Billy. Get up on in here, Marlon. All right, honey, swing that leg across that walker like you did the other night. Let's take a walk down the. Let's take a walk down the villages. So, little clarification recently from him that she actually broke up with him.
Oh, she broke up with him.
And they had been going to a new bar that he had not been to in his hometown that she liked to frequent or liked to go to. And it became his kind of bar. He got used to all the people there and all that other
Like
stuff.
a Cheers style?
Cheers, yeah. Hey!
Everybody knows your name.
Hey, someone put the wheelchair ramp down for Marlon and his girlfriend. He told me that he went to the bar and he saw her with another young man.
What?
And that he felt so flush. He was like, Bryan, I can't tell you how jealous I felt of this whole situation.
It used to be
that
me.
used to be mine.
Mm-hmm.
Those used to be my raisins. And now there's someone.
That used to be the bar tab that was getting paid.
That's right.
For me.
I used to rub Tiger Balm into her knees. I dispensed medication 12 times a day to her. But he did get jealous. He found himself jealous. And I thought, well, I think that's kind of a natural reaction. You're dating someone for like 9 months.
Yes.
I don't care who they are. You're going to have some emotion tied up into it. It's going to be painful to see them moving on to a new situation in any case. Mm-hmm. So this got me thinking, how do we react when we see our exes, frequent or infrequent? I mean, like long-time exes.
I feel like in person is different than on social media. Like if you see
them
in person, that's one thing. Seeing pictures on social media, that's that.
That's
but in
because
person,
no one fucking tells the truth on damn social media. That's right. But it doesn't matter. Our fucking little pea brains can't wrap our head around the fact that is a staged photograph put up to make you upset. Everybody knows this game. I'm sure. I mean, at least I think everybody knows this game. I know this game.
Yes.
Okay? Here's the game. Watch. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm done. We're broken up. 5 days later, right? They have blocked you from their Facebook or their Instagram or whatever it is. Usually on Facebook, because this is how it happens. They just take everything off of public view and then they defriend you, right? They only put in public view what they want you to see. So inevitably, the first picture that comes up on someone's not public Facebook page is a picture of them with, Jason Momoa in a loincloth, right? That's what happens. Because they know that you're going to be looking.
In Hawaii.
With
a waterfall and a rainbow in the background.
That's that Momoa. What's going on over there? Right? That's a whole scene. I love
He's so hot right now.
When was he not hot? I mean, I like Pudenda as much as the next guy, but Jason Momoa is a very good-looking creature. He really is. Make me turn to dolphins for. But this game that we play after we break up is made twice as bad by social media, I think. And even though these are dolled up pictures made to make you upset, obviously, you still get wrapped into it. It's human nature. Sure. You're like, fuck, man, she's doing so great. I just broke up with her yesterday, and now she's together with someone else. I got a question from someone in the audience that said, I have been, I've been single for a while, had a boyfriend for a couple of years. Recently, I saw that my ex got married, and it made me so upset. It's been 10 years. Should I still be upset? That was like the question. And I'm thinking to myself, 10 fucking years? No.
Definitely move on.
Yeah, definitely move on. Should you be upset?
Maybe like a little tinge.
You should get a therapist. That's my advice.
Yeah, a little tinge, but not super jealous or mad.
It's totally understandable to go, oh, man, fuck, he got married before I did. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or oh, that could have been me. Or we would have been good together.
What might have been. But if you guys haven't been together in 10 years, that's a long time. It's like someone that I know that I won't mention. They've been divorced for 22 years from this person. And this person is still the fucking devil. And it's 22 years. Wow.
Sister. It's been a long fucking time. You got to get over it. Mm-hmm. And I understand, you have that one love in your life, you're always going to feel something toward them. We all have it, right? Mm-hmm. That old fling, that old fire, that Sally on the piano. You got that.
Well, it's easy too to forget the bad part of the relationship versus
how quickly we forget.
You only remember all the fun and all the greatness that you had.
Do you know I'm saying you know, like you haven't known me for 20 years.
Yes.
You know, I had a relationship and I broke up with that person 47 fucking times.
Yeah.
If I broke up with them once. I broke up with them so many times.
I couldn't keep up.
Day after day. I mean, honestly, day after day. For a while there, it was every day. We're together. We're not. Fuck her. I love her.
You want to go out for beers, Krissy?
That's right.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
And then you'd be back together.
Yeah, you'd be like, Brian, what are you doing? Whoa.
Can you hang out tonight? You're with her? You're back with her? I can't hang out anymore. Sorry.
Krissy get a text message. Hey, are you want to hang tonight? She'd be like, yeah, broken up today.
Yep.
Sorry, can't make it. Back together. Yeah. Or sometimes in the middle of hanging out, I'd be like, I gotta go. Sorry. Gotta go meet her at the house.
Yep.
We've all had this relationship. And I admittedly...
you took my car from Bonnaroo to go meet her.
What is the stupidest thing you've ever done to get with an ex? Because that got to be one of the stupidest things I've ever done to get with an ex.
I can't believe when you were leaving, you was in the middle of the
fucking Radiohead at Bonnaroo.
Brian's like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go meet up with beep. Won't say her name. And I'm like, okay.
Sure.
And he's like, can I take your car?
Do you mind if I drive your car 172 miles at 2:30 in the morning?
I'll catch her right back with my new boyfriend that I wasn't even together with for like
This is just like that. I think that has got to be one of the most insane things that I have ever done for a girl that I wasn't even dating at the time. She literally texted me one time during Bonnaroo. What are you up to? And she never responded to another text message. I drove home to see her.
Yes, you did.
And when I got there, she wasn't there.
Yes.
She wasn't there. Why? Because she was at some other dude's house. So not only did I miss half of Radiohead, I didn't even get laid. Such a fuck up I am. I'm such a fuck up. What is
the hard ones with the hard ones?
The hard ones with the hard ones. The hard ones with the. I'm holding space for that.
You would always tell me that.
I know.
The hard ones with the hard
I'd be like, hey, listen, I know she's getting arrested for the third time breaking into my apartment. But the hard ones with the hard ones. I know she left me down in New Orleans without a ride, but the hard ones with the hard ones. I'm holding space for her. Oh, are you? Listen, it is what it is.
I, on the other hand, did not hold space for her, but I let you do what you needed to do.
Yeah, I guess
everything turned out okay because now you're married to a wonderful woman.
Oh my God! Thank God for small favors. Yeah.
I was worried for a while.
Here's a little relationship advice. If no one that you know, like none of your friends, family, anyone you've ever known, people on Facebook that you don't know, your contacts on LinkedIn, if all of them don't agree with your relationship, it's probably time to end the relationship. What is the craziest thing? How many times, like, have you had exes where you got back together with them multiple times?
No,
really?
Didn't. Never. I was never that person.
You never went back to the well?
No.
Wow. You're a stronger woman than I am. And I'm not a strong woman at all.
No, I knew. Well, I think the reason I didn't do that was because I saw a lot of people doing that, and I just was like, "That's stupid."
Yeah, it is stupid because name one situation where getting back to an ex got together,
and then you are happily ever after.
Name it. Exactly. I dare you to. Well, actually, your parents. Your parents did this.
Well, maybe maybe that was my aversion to not doing it.
You got to tell the audience what.
Yeah, so my parents were married to each other 3 times.
This is
the first
insane.
time. The first time was the first time. And then they got divorced when I was in kindergarten, remarried to each other a year later.
Wow.
Then when I was a senior in high school, got divorced and then remarried back to each other a year later.
Wow. That to me is like, I mean, I've heard the story before, obviously. And to me, that is just so foreign that you would like breaking up is one thing. Right. It's bad enough when you got to split up the house cactus you guys have been taking care of. Marriage. And you guys are splitting up not once, but twice and remarried. They actually walked down the aisle 3 separate times.
Yeah.
That is insane.
They didn't have a
Krissy.
huge wedding the next 2 times. They just went to the courthouse. But,
Yeah.
But yeah. Maybe that's why I didn't do it.
Maybe that's why you didn't do it, is because you saw
Yes.
that this is just craziness
Yeah.
that I don't want to be involved in. Totally. But if you haven't done it, you've seen a lot of your friends
Tons,
do it.
yes. Including you.
Including me. I'm the dumbass. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, I took this so far that one time I broke up with this woman and we were broken up, I don't know, 2 months. We're not talking to each other, hadn't spoken to each other in months.
You and I are hanging out all the time.
All the time. Every
I was
night.
hopeful.
Yeah.
Then.
Domino's is making a lot of money on late night pizza phone calls.
Yes.
The local D is making a lot of money off our late night phone calls. The bars are making a shit ton of money.
renaissance.
Yeah, we certainly were Renaissance men and women back then. You know, everybody else at the bar was probably like, "Let's do fucking drunks back again." Are they fucking?
Everybody always wondered.
$1 that they're fucking. So I took this so far with this one particular woman that we had been broken up for 3 months. I can't remember. It was a long time, right? No contact, no communication. I had been healed. I had been cured of my ails. And my ails was this rather toxic relationship that was just like a death spiral, right?
Yeah.
Feeling like I'm coming out of it a little bit. And I start dating another woman. I'm like, okay, I feel healthy enough to go back out there. I'm holding space for myself. And I feel like I can go back out there and date. But it only took one text message, one phone call. That was it. And I was right back together with the woman I had just broken up with and dumping the other woman. I mean, like leaving the other one in my tracks. That's how far I took it. I took it so far that not even a new relationship, a new attraction could pull me far enough away from the situation.
Remember.
It was such... It was so
like a
bad.
moth to a flame.
It was like a moth to a flame. So I'm telling
Burned by the
Marlon.
fire.
Yeah. Hey, everybody out there in the podcast universe, it's time for the dreaded commercial break inside the commercial break. It's season number 4. You've heard it all before, so let's get to it quickly. You can text us or leave us a voicemail at 1-855-TCB-8383. Questions, comments, concerns, or content ideas, send them to 855-TCB-8383, toll free from anywhere in the world. Visit our website, tcbpodcast.com, to listen to any of the audio, watch any of the video, or send us a message. Hit the Contact Us button. Instagram and TikTok at The Commercial Break. And now YouTube videos the same day they air on the audio feed. They'll air youtube.com/The Commercial Break. Krissy and I are very grateful every time you choose to listen to The Commercial Break. If you're ever in the market for our sponsors, products, or services, all we ask is that you use the specialized URLs or codes. Thanks again for being part of the TCB family. Now let's hear from those sponsors, and we'll be back to this episode of The Commercial Break.
Whatever kind of night you're having, start it off right with Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery. Whether you're mixing up a Bullet Bourbon Old Fashioned for a cozy night in, or a Kettle One Bloody Mary bar for a birthday brunch, you can get the perfect beer, wine, and spirits for any occasion delivered with Drizzly. So, what's it gonna be? Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com to choose your drinks today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
Telling Marlon, I'm like, Marlon, dude, you honestly. So his whole thing was, I really want to get back together with her. Like,
he does.
He does, totally, 100%. Okay. And I just don't know how to approach it.
What was the reason for the breakup? Do you know?
The reason for the breakup was that Marlon. I want to say this without making sure that I give away anything that's going to be too descriptive.
Personal.
Yeah, that's too personal. Marlon felt like Marlon wanted her to be more involved in his friends group, right? He felt like it was time to make those introductions, like in the friends group. It's been 6 or 9 months.
Yeah.
She felt like this was an arrangement. Right? Oh. It was an arrangement, and she didn't need to be a part of his social affairs outside of their arrangement. Mm. And he felt very hurt by this, and they got into an argument. Like a piece of meat? Yeah, like a piece of meat. like the subject of a John Anthony video? Yes. She felt strongly that she didn't want to be part of any of his social affairs outside of that arrangement.
Her heart did not want it.
Her heart had no interest in this. This woman is cold as fucking ice. I mean, she really told him, basically, I don't want you in any other way. Way too personal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She's, right? She's like, whoa. I'm not catching no feelings here.
Yeah, this lasted long enough.
If I'm not spending money on you and you're not giving me an orgasm, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
She basically said, I'm late in life. I'm not interested in hanging around a bunch of kids. I'm just interested in having an arrangement. I kind of get that. I kind of get it too. Maybe she's protecting him a little bit. Maybe she's protecting herself. I mean, she is a...
Yeah, I mean, this isn't college. You're not going and hanging out watching a ball game.
No. You're playing a balls game is what you're doing. So he said, I don't really think she feels that way. I think she has feelings for me. And just this argument precipitated
That's what you tell yourself.
Yeah, that's what I said to him too. I said, dude, that's what you're telling yourself. That's what you're imagining. I go, bro, you got on a website where older rich women pick up men as if they are prostitutes. Yeah. That's basically what's happening here. Most of them are seeking arrangements. I think that even might be the name of the fucking website.
That was the name of the website.
Seeking arrangements. So she's seeking an arrangement. She has no interest in you except for your rock hard 30-something cock.
Right.
Right? You don't have
and arm candy.
And arm candy. You don't have you don't need no Y Bryan 3000. You are good to go.
Yeah.
And the guys that are her age are just not interesting to her sexually. So she is taking her life.
Seeking an arrangement.
She's taking her life where everything else seems fine and normal and dandy, right? And she's interjecting, she's paying for the one thing she can't get in her circle of friends, in her sphere of influence, and that is a 30-something-year-old dick.
It makes sense to me.
Makes absolute sense to me. But he goes, no, that's just no, man, she's got feelings. She got
well,
feelings.
you know what, too, when they went on that trip to Italy or where they went to a couple places in Europe.
They went to Italy and then they went skiing in Austria or some shit.
So she was jealous. Remember, she was jealous about something.
She got upset that he was talking to a girl at the bar.
When somebody else is really jealous towards you, even if you don't necessarily aren't that into them, I feel like there's something psychologically to where you think then you want to be like a little bit more cautious, and then they think that means they really like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I totally get it. Like when someone shows signs of jealousy. When someone, gets a little bit upset when you're around another girl or another guy with, whatever your preferences are, or someone, I don't know, throws a Molotov cocktail in your front door or keys your car or threatens to murder your cat. Yeah, there's something that feels good about that.
Sets fire to your house. Didn't that really happen with that girl from TLC? She set fire to the football player's house.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about TLC, the channel. No. And I was like, wait, what show is that?
The band.
I know every show on TLC, and I've never heard of that.
You do.
Yes, that girl, not Salt and Pepper, but
Left Eye.
Left Eye Lopez. She set fire to the football player's house because she...
In Atlanta here.
In Atlanta. But yeah, you get those little signs of jealousy, and then you start to feel like that girl really has feelings for me. They're into me. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird and fucked up, isn't it? How we play those little games with ourselves. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, all this disturbing behavior is making me so happy.
Yeah, that means they care.
That's right. And when you start to feel those feelings of jealousy, that this is not just the run of the mill. Like, I'm not just dating this person. I now have feelings for them, right? Because the truth is, like, when you get involved with a woman or a man or whatever, initially, usually there's not jealousy. They go around their old friends.
Yes.
I've dated girls who are literally living with their ex-boyfriends, and I'm like, whatever. Cool.
Right.
Which makes for an uncomfortable homecoming, Hey, honey, I'm home with this guy. But I get it. I get what you're saying is that, like, there's some part of you that feels... It warms the cockles of your heart.
It does. They're like, well, they're jealous.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they really care.
So
Which isn't always the case.
And you're right about this whole jealousy thing. But I told Marlon, I said, but be careful, because when someone shows you who they are, when they tell you who they are, believe
them.
When someone tells you who they are, believe them. It is what it is.
All the cliches.
Is it really what it is?
All the cliches.
Yeah. I got platitudes all day long. You want them? I got them. I never use them, but I got them. I'll say them. And I personally think it's time for Marlon to move on.
Yeah.
Right? Because here, take this out a couple of steps. Let's say they get back together. And let's say that everyone catches feelings. What happens next? Marlon is going to be with a woman twice his age. She's going to want to go down to the villages and retire or whatever. She's going to want to live out the rest of her life comfortably, like she has the right to do, right? She's very well off, so she's going to obviously have that. Marlon can be a part of all the fun and fanatic bullshit. He can take the private planes and drive the fancy cars and live in the nice houses.
He's a party boy.
Yeah, he's a party boy. He knows D. I mean, we that one story where they went to Jamaica and she's like up all night doing coke and he's taking a nap. This person sounds awesome. I'm sorry.
I know.
I so wish that he would like bridge that gap for us and we could just get them both on a Zoom call and work it out for them. But if you take this down a couple steps, what's really going to happen is that he is going to have to be a participant in her eventual decline.
Right.
As everyone goes, right? And I think she's trying to either protect him from this a little bit or she really doesn't have feelings for him. And she's just saying, hey, listen, because remember, so for those of you that are new to the podcast, this whole Marlon saga has been going on for like a year. You can go back and listen to episodes. I'm sure that Marlon is in the title somewhere. You can read the show notes. One of the crazy things that we were a part of was a text message that came through that was like 16 pages long, where a woman, claimed they were dating a younger man, but every single part of the story, with the exception of a very few twists, every single part of the story lined up to Marlon's story.
Sounded like it.
Even Marlon thought that it was his girlfriend that was writing in. Even he thought, but she didn't leave a name. It was totally anonymous. And she wrote this whole thing. And it was clear from that message that she wasn't as excited about the relationship as he was. Because like in the end, she said, I'm just not feeling super satisfied.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, a new toy every 6 or 9 months. Something new and shiny over here. And that's the way she's chosen to live her life. Yeah. So good for her. Best for her.
Say best to her. In the
poor little Marlon's heart, though.
I know.
Yeah.
If there's any single girls out there living in Florida, I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of single women living in Florida, but if there's a few out there, send in a bio and a picture. Let's see if we can hook you up with good old Marlon. Yeah. Marlon's a good guy.
He is.
He drives a 93 Celica. He lives in his mom's basement. He mainly eats pizza for dinner, but he's a nice guy.
That's not the case, actually. He's very successful.
He's very successful. Yeah, he's very successful. He does very well for himself. He's not her level of success,
right, or
her level of wealthy, but he's generally well off.
He's comfortable.
Yeah. I said, listen, you know what the best time to go out and look for a new girlfriend, look for a new hookup is? Right after you get dumped.
Yeah.
That's the best time. Women smell the desperation on you. It's almost like they're looking for a puppy dog to take in. You know what I'm saying? You're at your most vulnerable. Go out there, cry, have a few tears in your beer, and someone's going to approach you and say, hey, bro, what's wrong with you? You could say, my 90-year-old girlfriend just broke up with me.
Maybe it's the bartender.
Oh, don't hit on the bartender. That's just...
No.
Anytime you hit on the bartender.
Yeah, they've never heard it before.
It's like going... I know. They've never had someone hit on them before. It's just like when you go into a strip club. What do we say here at the commercial break? The most expensive thing in a strip club is hope.
Is hope.
I hope she gives me her phone number. I hope that's her real name. I hope I get to go home with her. And you keep paying for the privilege of that hope.
So true.
Yeah. Meanwhile, most... women that I've met that work in those dance clubs, they hate men. I mean, they are just like, fuck guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? Because because y'all are a pack of wild animals. I've never been to a strip club, but if I had been to a strip club, y'all are a pack of wild animals.
We've been together. So
stop it. We went 16 or 17 times in 2014.
Yes. In all fairness, it was a client.
It was a client, in all fairness. I'll never forget the side story. I'll never forget. I can't remember if this was you or if I went with another account executive. we have this strip club here in town called the Cheetah. Mm-hmm. The Cheetah literally has a 5-star restaurant inside of it.
Altruvia.
Yeah. Alluvia.
Alluvia.
Alluvia. Pubic hair with your ribs. So weird. I just wouldn't eat at a strip club. It's just not my thing.
No, and that's the receipt name says that too. So it doesn't say like Cheetah Strip Club in case you have a wife.
They're so smart.
Bills.
Yeah. Hey, honey, I was just at Alluvia.
Yeah, it's a new steakhouse.
And you went to the ATM 16 times? I know it's a weird restaurant, honey. You got to pay per plate. Every time a plate comes out, you got to put another $1 down. In my case, another 20. Don't worry about the mortgage. We'll pay it on the 17th. The side story. So I'm running the internet sales department, yes. Right? I'm running the interactive sales department of Clear Channel here in Atlanta.
And that's how Bryan and I met.
Yeah. And as two fledgling Clear Channel employees waiting to get fired.
Biding our
in a
time.
constant state of hangover.
Exactly.
We were in a boiler room, not boiling. Let's put it that way. Krissy and I were in the back snickering. You want me to what? You want me to pick up the phone and cold call? Yeah. All right, bro. Cool. So one of the AEs had the Cheetah account.
Yeah.
And they say, listen, I'm going to get them for a big fourth quarter buy. Internet's going to be a part of it. So can you come and meet with this lady? The lady who handled their marketing was the house mom for many years. Those of you that aren't familiar, strip clubs have house moms. Those house moms are exactly what it sounds like. Their job is to take care of the ladies. Their job is to make sure that everyone's on their best behavior.
Safe.
There's no drama.
Looking good.
Looking good. And in order to accomplish this, to make sure that they're safe, looking good, and not getting themselves in trouble, they literally took the doors off of the stalls in the bathrooms in the locker room of the Cheetah, the dressing room of the Cheetah. I don't think I'm saying anything totally out of turn. But
I think I went into the dressing room one time.
I did. I thought maybe I was with you.
I think it was us. We were like,
and I was like, what? First, I was like, yes.
Whatever movie you've seen, a listener, whatever movie you've seen out there where it shows the strip club dressing room, that's it.
That's true.
That's true.
It's all true. Yeah, it's all true.
That's right.
Any weird movie, like The Wrestler or whatever weird movie you've seen where all the girls are sitting there topless, checking out each other's boobs
putting
and
on pasties
making catty noises at each other. That actually happens.
Eyeshadow,
Putting on lipstick. Only just imagine that the dressing room is much bigger. It's much brighter. Yeah. And then on the other side, there's 20 toilets with no doors on the stalls. And that is so they don't do drugs, right? So they're not doing drugs so that there's no liability on the club's part. I'm imagining that's what it is. I can't think of anything else.
Not stopping anybody.
No, please. I just stand up and pee. Face the wall. So,
back to Marlon.
So I think I told Marlon, I said, get out there, bro. You just got to get out there, lick your wounds a little bit, go talk to some other people, hang out with your friends. Be surrounded by friends. If you see an attractive woman, do your thing. Give yourself a little boost of confidence. Give yourself a little self-confidence. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like Marlon is not going to be the Pete Davidson type that's just going to go right back out and pick up another attractive woman. Speaking of Pete Davidson, holy fucking shit. That guy.
Talk about falling upwards.
It's unbelievable. This guy is the Usain Bolt of dating. He is going so fast that you can't even see him. Wasn't he just dating? Who was he just dating?
Well, I mean, it's been a string. He was
Kardashian.
When he first kind of came on the radar as a guy who did not quite match up with maybe what people thought his, field would be, was Ariana Grande.
Oh yeah.
They got
Ariana
engaged.
Grande. They got engaged.
Yeah, that ended. So, but everybody at first was like, "What is that?"
He was on SNL and he was making jokes about it, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's cute. That Pete Davidson guy got a really attractive woman. That really average-looking dude on that kind of funny average-looking dude on Saturday Night Live has Ariana Grande as a girlfriend."
Mm-hmm. Then they got engaged. Then that didn't work out. And I don't know what happened in between then, but then Kim Kardashian.
Years went by. Yeah, like a year and a half.
Like the holy grail out there for.
Then Krissy and I are just flabbergasted that all of a sudden he is dating Kim Kardashian. And clearly we think this is a PR stunt, but
nope.
He goes out with her for a rather lengthy period of time. In Pete Davidson
6
years.
months.
Yeah. You know how
9 months.
You know how dogs age like 3 days for every day? Pete, every day of dating Pete is like a year in Pete years.
Yes.
Pete dating years. So he dated her for 12 years or however long it was in Pete years. And then he moved on to who? Who was next? Wasn't it?
Well, it was the Victoria's Secret
The Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, and then beautiful women everywhere.
Everywhere. And now he's with Ice Spice. Ice fucking Spice. That girl is really attractive.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable to me.
Funny guys win.
He must have your attitude toward exes.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Just
close the door and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't any of these... Well, first of all, they're all very famous and they have the right not to say anything about their relationships. And I'm sure that's a good PR move on their part. But why hasn't anyone said a bad word about Pete?
No, everybody says great things about him. But then it just doesn't work out.
I know the guys like this. I'm a guy like this. Just didn't work out. I like Bryan, but just didn't work out.
Well, it's the old 6-month mark where all of a sudden there's bathrooms
With me,
involved.
it was like the 2-week mark. But yeah, that's okay. Whatever. Why hasn't anyone ever come out with a bad word about dating Pete?
Nothing.
There must be an NDA involved.
Nothing's
somewhere.
out there.
I know nothing is out there. You haven't heard anything from Kim Kardashian. You haven't heard anything from any of the other girls.
Only the best.
Only the best. It's unbelievable, Pete. I say, I mean, there needs to be a whole volume of Encyclopedia Britannica dedicated to Pete.
There definitely needs to be a class.
For sure.
Like a college course.
Do you think he's going to be like Professor Emeritus at Harvard one day giving class?
No, but then again, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know.
He might go that route. All of a sudden, he's super smart.
Eventually,
He's taking off in the professor world.
Pete Davidson. Yeah. One of these days, he's like Warren Beatty of our time. He's the Warren Beatty of our time.
But Warren Beatty was really good looking.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. He's okay.
He seemed like a playboy. Pete does not.
No, yeah.
He seems like the goofy kind of guy that you know, love to be around and loves to make you laugh. I guess that's what happens.
Yeah, that's true. He's like the Carrot Top of our time.
Before Carrot Top got on steroids.
Oh my God, Carrot Top looks awful. Carrot Top? Literally?
When I saw a picture of him with his muscles, I was like, what?
Do you know how you can go online, you can play those games where you like smush two bubbles together and then the bubble grows bigger with little other bubbles? You know, you're just like one of those games for people that, you know, like tactile stuff. I feel like Carrot Top is a lot of oranges put together and he's like grown out of his... He is awful. That guy is weird. Now, I've heard a couple interviews with him and I don't think... Carrot Top sounds pretty smart and like an affable guy.
He's doing something right. He's been around for forever.
Yeah. Is he still in the Vegas Strip, do you think? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's he playing now? Like, O'Shallahans? Come on into O'Shallahans.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's actually playing. I think he's just around the scene.
Oh, he's around the scene.
Maybe he does stand up here and there.
I'm sure that Carrot Top probably comes to Atlanta 4 times a year and we just don't know about it because it's Carrot Top. You know where we need to go? Theresa Caputo is coming to Atlanta, and that's where we need to go.
Yes.
But I'm a little concerned that we'll get vetted and we'll quickly be out.
We should do something like where we make a fake profile online and say like our grandmother died or something and then see if that gets picked up in the
That's really, really smart. Mm-hmm. For those of you that are just joining the commercial break, if you're a new listener here, Krissy and I have a history with Theresa Caputo. And by history, I mean we have been talking about her. She has not been talking about us. But we have been talking about her and that god darn hairdo and how it's all fake, right? And how she just... And how if you really watch any of her live readings, they are all big fails. Yeah. That's what they are.
They are.
But she just talks so fast and she tries to make things funny.
Jokes.
Yeah, that you just don't realize how bad she actually is. And so she's coming to Atlanta.
Somebody in the audience has had a family member die, probably of a heart attack, and she starts there.
I'm sensing someone who knew someone who had toes. Is toes familiar to anybody? Your grandfather had toes. No, your brother had toes. A man with a penis had toes. No? Was it a vagina? Because there's a woman standing there with her hair on fire, and that's usually a sign for vagina. Yes, who was it? Was your uncle? Are you wearing your aunt's necklace right now? No? Is that your daughter's necklace? Is it your necklace?
Anyone's necklace.
Did you steal the necklace? Did you ever acquire that necklace?
It's so true.
Have you touched that necklace? You have.
See?
Because there's a guy right behind me. There's 3 guys right behind me, and one of them he's got doing this motion like he's masturbating, and that's usually a sign for the necklaces from Grandma.
A pearl necklace.
Pearl necklace. I got a guy jizzing on my neck right now. It's a pearl necklace. Anybody ever had cake? Was there somebody with cake? I'm seeing a birthday cake. Anybody had birthday cake recently? No? Nobody? You? What about ice cream? Ice cream? Milk? Any milk products whatsoever? Dairy? Have you ever had dairy? Anybody ever had dairy? Because I'm smelling flatulence, and that's usually a sign for dairy eating.
That's IBS.
That's IBS. There's a ghost right behind me with IBS. You're shitting all over the floor. That's usually my sign for someone shitting all over the floor. She's so stupid.
I know.
We'll do a Theresa Caputo coming up,
I
promise you, because we just love to dislike that lady. I mean, she is so awful, and she's coming to Atlanta. But back to Carrot Top. Carrot Top had a string of rather lovely women, too, back in his day. And I'm not really sure when his day was. I think sometime around the late 90s, there was a Carrot Top thing going on. Yes. Yeah. It was like right after Gallagher. Right before Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was in between Gallagher and Seinfeld.
Around the same time, yeah.
And Carrot Top, he would have these incredible inventions that he would do. You know?
Right.
I don't know. And there'd be a hammer on a rock, and he'd be like, it's rock hard. You know, it's like he'd throw it on the floor. He'd have a whole box of this shit he'd just make up. And it's usually 2 words he put together and then 2 things he put together, and then he made that scene quick. That was his whole shtick. But Carrot Top, when he was in Vegas on doing like a residency, he had a string of women that he was dating
first
too.
of all, it's Vegas.
I know. So
everybody's pretty much.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, except for Carrot Top.
Except for Carrot Top. Yeah.
So let's take a look at the situation as it stands right now. Warren Beatty, good looking, rich, movie star. At the time, world's best actor, one of the world's best actors. Pete Davidson, one time had a movie because of Ariana Grande. Bit player on Saturday Night Live. I guess it's debatable about how he looks. To me, not my taste. Of course, I'm not into Pete Davidson types, but would you date Pete Davidson?
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends. I don't take looks at all really into consideration. I mean, yes, to a certain extent.
And thank God.
But it's different when you meet somebody in person. He obviously has a very magnetic personality, makes you feel good about yourself, makes you feel at ease.
If you can put a tickle in someone's pickle, it's better than being good looking any day of the week. And that's why I have been so extraordinarily unsuccessful in my dating life. And then there's Carrot Top, who we don't know about him. Call it like you see it. I mean, Carrot Top is Carrot Top. I don't think he was ever on the cover of Time magazine or Men's Fitness. Maybe Men's Fitness.
Maybe Men's Fitness. His muscles.
And then you got that Lisa fucking Bonet. She is the most beautiful. I love her. She is so beautiful. And she's been with Momoa and Lenny Kravitz. And then they have children that look like gods. And it's all... the gene pool up there is really nice. I wish I could just like reach up there and pull out some genes and throw them down into my mouth.
They're in Hawaii.
Yeah. You don't see Pete Davidson going back to his exes.
Nope.
You don't see Pete Davidson going back to his exes.
He's moving on quick.
We need it. You know what we need to do? I say we have a game show. A game show called Sexes of the Exes.
Oh, I like it.
Right? And we get a bunch of freshly broken up people, like Marlon and his girl. And then we get the other one. We get the person who has been dumped and the dumpee. And we get the dumpee in a room with a hot, over-sexualized human being, woman, man, whatever it is. And then we put the ex on the other side of the wall with a 2-way mirror, so they can only see in, they can't see out.
Are we doing this, or are we pitching
No, we're
it
doing
to
this.
TLC?
We're doing this right here. TLC.
We're pitching it to TLC is what we're going to do.
Listen, I would say that I don't think TLC would go for this, but I'm not even sure what TLC's parameters are anymore.
No, there are none.
Yeah, they're off the rails. Yeah. And I love it. I love every bit of it.
Do.
I just wish they would do Takeoki Karaoke. So we put them on the other side of the wall, and then we let them see what happens.
Like a Love is Blind kind of
Kind of like Love is Blind, but you can see. Kind of like Love is Blind, but not so blind. You know what I'm saying? And the two people
Why are you putting them on a wall? Like, did you say something about a wall?
I want the ex, like let's say Marlon's grandma, whatever she is, right?
Yeah.
Marlon's lady, and then put Marlon on the other side of the two-way mirror, and then send in Pete Holmes or Pete Davidson. I keep saying Pete Holmes. But send in Pete Davidson and just watch the fireworks happen and literally monitor Marlon to see how his physiological reaction is to this. And so I say we do this. Sex is with the ex, sex is of the exes, right? And we'll see if people still have feelings for their ex in that way by monitoring their physiological response to watching their ex get nailed on the opposite side of a two-way window.
I mean, there's nothing like having yourself being monitored to make your blood pressure spike.
Yeah, I always thought that about those lie detectors. Like nothing to calm you down, like a bunch of wires hooked up to your head.
In a concrete room.
I'd fail a lie detector every time. I'd be like, oh, good fun.
Lots of fun.
Don't get with your ex. It's not going to work out.
Don't go back.
Don't go back. There's a reason why you left. Don't go back. Unless the sex is really good. Then go back a couple times.
Unless my parents.
Yeah, unless you're your parents. Get married again. Yeah, now that I think about it, your parents were just like me and Cheshire. And, yeah. Only without all the restraining orders.
With the hard ones.
The hard ones with the hard ones.
Yes, it does. All right, go to tcbpodcast.com if you want your 21 EPM stickers. Prostate health is important, and we're sharing. It sounds like a fucking PSA.
Hashtag doing our part.
Yeah, hashtag doing our part. We're just kidding. It's just something we made up, and now we're trying to find a reason why we have 21 EPM stickers. 21 EPM stickers. The commercial break 21 EPM stickers are available for free. Go to the Contact Us page. They say best to you in the commercial break.
That's what they look like.
Yep. Yeah, I think you can see a picture of it on the new website, too. So go to tcbpodcast.com, hit the Contact Us button, tell us you want a sticker, leave us your address. We'll send it out in the next couple of days or over the next couple of days. And we'd also like you to go to Instagram, @The Commercial Break, TCB Live on TikTok, and youtube.com/The Commercial Break for full episodes in all of their beautiful glory. Every single time you hear a new episode on this audio feed, it'll also be available on the YouTube feed. So we would appreciate it if you would go there, like, subscribe, and comment on your favorite videos. We really enjoy the support. We want to hear from you. So text us, 855-TCB-8383. 1-855-TCB-8383. Comments, questions, concerns, content ideas. We will take them all. It's not a spam text message line. We never sell your information, mainly because no one's come asking. But, I mean, look at this.
We would never.
Isn't this the sound of two people you would trust? We're also looking for buyers of phone numbers and email addresses, so come on down. If you're looking to buy phone numbers, text 855-TCB-8383. Please do. We will respond, and it will be us.
So I was laughing earlier because when Astrid came in here and said, "Here, can you write a note on all of these things?" I was like, "We've got 30 people that requested an EPM sticker."
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's all we can do today. I love you.
I love you.
Best to you.
Best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, Krissy and I always say, we do say, and we must say, like the Micro Machine Man, goodbye.
I love hosting New Year's Eve.
Sorry.
That said, it can get a little chaotic. Thankfully, I made sure the party was stocked with Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery. Drizzly lets you compare prices on a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits, then get them delivered right to your door. Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.